Subhodayam. Welcome all to the seventh batch of certificate course on Sanatana Dharma organized by Veda Samskruti Samiti in association with Vishwa Yoga Vidyapit. Today we'll be continuing with Mahabharata by Dr. Karanam Nagaraja Garu. We'll start the day with Vande Mataram by Venkat Narayan Garu.
वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां सस्यश्यामलां मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनीं फुल्लकुसुमिता द्रुमदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरम्
Vande Mataram. ధన్యవాదాలు వెంకట నారాయణ గారు. Now I request Nagaraja Garu to continue with the webinar, please.
Sir, Prardhana, sir.
Oh, sorry. Absolutely sorry. Right. I request Padmaja Garu to do the Pradhana.
We'll do 1 minute meditation followed by 3 times Omkaram.
It's all right. And
Om. ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमस्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती दीनामवित्र्यवतु। ॐ श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्मि गुरौ मां पाहि गुरो ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्तिः 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 मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
హరి ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. ధన్యవాదాలు పద్మజ గారు ఫర్ ద నైస్ ప్రార్థన. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. నవ్ ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ నాగరాజరావు గారు టు కంటిన్యూ విత్ ద వెబినార్ ప్లీజ్.
शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्याये सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Today we have this third lecture, third day of our Mahabharata series. This is today we are discussing a little bit a different topic. Maybe every time, every batch of students, what I will be doing is that maybe for the organizers are there, no, they are also to be looked upon. Whatever we tell normally, the same thing if you begin to repeat, they may also get bored. So you don't want to disappoint them also. So anyway, for the batch people, everything is new. For the organizers, this is definitely new. So this is the subject matter. In the first lecture, what we discussed was something about introduction to Mahabharata, how Mahabharata was a dharmic grantha and moksha grantha, something of that nature we discussed. In the second day of our class, we were discussing one of the aspects of dharma. One of the aspects of dharma is dhanam. How dhanam, that is called charity, has to be done. How difficult it is to do that particular type of dhanam. Sometimes we feel that our dhanam is very great, but still the dhanam is, it's not so great as we normally think ourselves. It is actually, peripherally, it looks like a dhanam, but inside, if you go deep into the subject matter, maybe sometimes it is not a dhanam at all. It may be a tamasic dhanam or it may be rajasic dhanam. How a sattvic dhanam has to be conducted. This issue we discussed from the one of the stories of Mahabharata, particularly the Shibi Chakravarti and also Karna. Is supposed to be the greatest giver, that is called Dana Karna, like that. This discussion we had yesterday, and in between we were discussing little small subjects also cropped up in between the story. So those type of things we discussed. See, Mahabharata, as we discussed in the very first lecture, dharmecha, arthecha, kamecha, mokshecha bharatarshava yadi hasti tadanyatra. So whatever that is there here is not there anywhere, like that he has told in respect of all these four aspects. Now we would touch upon today kama. Kama means the desires. Or sometimes it is not necessarily, kama does not mean the relationship between a man and a woman. It includes many other desires also. But core subject matter, the desire between man and woman only, we are going to discuss a little aspect. The subject is actually how to seduce your husband, how to make him subservient to you, what makes the husband always listen to you. This is the subject matter. So here, people, I believe there are many Telugu speaking people are there here. You might have seen one film, what is called Bhagya Chakram. One film is there. I don't know whether I think I heard at the time that it was an old film by the late N.T. Ramarao and also B. Saroja Devi, not B. Saroja, B. Saroja Devi, they were there. There, the villain of that particular story, he will be giving that one Anjanam. Anjanam means it is something like causal type of thing he will be giving. If you put that causal to the king will be always with you, something of that nature. Take the blood of that particular gentleman in clandestine way. The blood has to be mixed with so many other things. And a causal is prepared. The causal is kept here, then what will happen? The king will be surveillant to you. This type of films we have seen long in the past. We have seen this type of films. So here also, is there anything of that nature which can seduce your husband, or which can entice your husband? This is the subject matter. Maybe it is a discussion between, it is a relatively unknown, it is not necessarily a story to be in fact. It is a dialogue between two illustrious women of the day, Mahabharata times. Who are those illustrious women? Anybody knows? Anyway, I don't think this is relatively totally new subject. Maybe a few persons, maybe 1% or 2% might have heard this story. The story is there like that. I don't think it is there. If anybody has heard this story, please put in the chat box so that I also can see it. So this is the, anyway, if nobody is there, let us discuss the subject matter. You know that Satyabhama is there. We heard of Satyabhama. She is one of the illustrious wives of Lord Krishna. And we have umpteen number of stories connected to the couple, this Krishna and Draupadi. But here, when Pandavas were in the forest, Pandavas were, as I was telling, most of the stories, Pandavas were in the forest only. And Krishna wanted to visit Pandavas to inquire about their safety, and he wanted to see how they are there. So he was coming over to Dvaitavana, or whichever Vana they are there. At that time, he wanted to come there. Along with him, he also took Satyabhama also. Both Satyabhama, Krishna, and a few other persons, they came and visited Pandavas. They were inquiring. And Krishna was spending most of his time with Pandavas. When he was spending his time with Pandavas, what Satya can do? Satyabhama came to Draupadi. Draupadi also very much eager to receive her. And both were, after a long time, they met. And they were spending their time exclusively in a separate room. Room or some secluded spot. They were also discussing something. And Satyabhama was there for a good number of days also, 3 or 4 days or whatever it may be. It is not mentioned specifically in Mahabharata. Anyway, for some days she was there, and she could observe that Pandavas are looking like they were like gods only. They were like gods with exceptional brilliance, valor, vigor. And yet, one thing what she observed was that they were always subservient to the Draupadi. They were eager to have a glimpse of her charming face all the time. Everybody, including Dharmaraja, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, all these persons, they were very eager to look at her face. That was the situation. You believe it or not, even at the time of Draupadi's marriage takes place. No, at the time, when Draupadi was seen by all the 5 Pandavas, even though it is Arjuna who fell that yantra, Matsya yantra, but still, all these persons were there. All Krishna, Dharmaraja, Bhima, Arjuna, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, all the 5 persons look her at with keen interest. Look at her. They were all persons who were willing to have her as their own, his own wife like that. It was a situation that is described very beautifully in Mahabharata. So subsequently also all the persons were so attached to Draupadi, even though they were having different other wives. Each person was having a different wife, and each person has had sons also with those wives. But still, they were very much eager to have this queen only. This queen, this one queen is attracting all the 5 persons all the time. This was the situation. So she was perplexed. And one more thing what she observed was that with Draupadi, they could never exhibit any anger or express any impatience with her for whatsoever reason. It was the situation. They were always there. They were always there. They were not at all unhappy with her at any point of time. She was quite surprised, and she came to Draupadi and she was asking, my love Draupadi, is there any ritual? Please tell me, is there any tapas? Is there any mantra to entice the husband on the earth? If you are there, wife and husbands are there, is there anything of that nature? Or is there any japam? Is there any homam? Or is there any anjanam? For what it is to enhance the supremacy of the wife over her husband. How can your husbands are so surveillant to you? That is the question. That is the specific question. How are they, all these 5%, always they were always surveillant to you, whatever they were just looking at you for your orders. Like that it is there. What is the matter? How you are going to manage all the 5%, and all the 5% are so much attached to you. This is how she asked. Then Draupadi, you believe it or not, Draupadi's character was actually it was a character assassination, what we can call, no, like that. Most of the places Draupadi was shown as not so great person, something of that nature. Small stories which are not there in Mahabharata is there. Sometimes there are some films which say that Draupadi wanted to have Karna as her sixth husband, and all these issues are not there in Mahabharata. Draupadi was a very pious lady. And even Draupadi laughed at Duryodhana in the court, Maya Sabha. That is also not there. She never laughed. So she was actually a gracious lady, knowledgeable lady. We have seen all those things in, of course, that discussion has not come up here. But in Mahabharata, we come across the dice, game of dice, wherein she exhibited a exceptional brilliant knowledge, which stunned everybody, including Dharmaraja, Bhishma, and other persons. Then she asked whether I am defeated by adharma or dharma. Whether Dharmaraja bet me after his defeat or after his defeat. Whether I am dharmika slave or adharmic slave. Like that she questions. She questions very pertinent questions, which are very much knowledgeable questions, which even the court could not answer. Nobody could answer. So that was the situation. That was a great lady with a lot of intellect also. It's very pious character. And she was never indulged in shortcuts to entice the husbands, whatever it may be. She was not in the intention of enticing the husbands. That is one issue. They are there like that, but she is not of that nature. And she was following the Grihastha Dharma. Grihastha Dharma means Dharma associated with housewives. That is there, she was there. And when this question was asked to her, her soft heart suffered a shock. And yet she controlled herself and controlled her erupting anger. This Mahabharata says the erupting anger. She was getting anger against Satyabhama. What type of question she is asking like that? So it is not shortcut, no. So then she controlled herself because Satyabhama is very known to her, very much close to her. So she controlled and she told Satya, I tell you one thing. You are the beloved queen of Krishna, and yet you are asking this type of questions. And you know it that wicked ladies only do all these type of tricks. They resort to these type of tricks and trappings. Who do all these things? Only wicked ladies will be doing. Believe me, these mantras, tantras, with these things you cannot entice your husband. If you try to ensnare your husband by means of trappings and all these things, husband will look upon you as a snake. The Mahabharata, these type of descriptions are there. So if someone knows that a lady is trying to trap, then what will happen? The husband will be getting angry also. And sometimes what will happen if you try to entice your husband by means of some medicines and all these things, and you need to approach some person. When you approach some person, the subject matter may go to even to the enemies also. The enemies, what they do, because they get the right opportunity, they may actually put some poison and all these things into your medicine, whatever it may be, and it will be administered to your husband. because of this reason, most of the ladies, what they are doing is that they are actually a cause for in order to seduce their husbands. They have made them suffer from diseases. Then some diseases also Mahabharata mentions. Jalodhara they mention. Jalodhara means most likely I believe it is something related to stomach pain or whatever it may be. Jalodhara, leprosy, these type of things. And sometimes they make their husbands blind, deaf, dumb, and aged, and also even sometimes eunuchs. Like that it will become. So we are not supposed to give any chance to our enemies or any other person to know our secrets. Internal secrets of the house should be kept inside only, because that is why only we are having that some principle is there. No, whatever that is happening in the house, that should not be revealed to outsiders. If that is revealed to outsiders, there is no use. Outsiders will just listen and for the sake of enjoyment only. Nobody will come and actually do any favor to you. They listen to you and they will always try to laugh at you only. That is the reason why we are not supposed to reveal the secret of the house. So here, when you reveal the secret that you wanted to seduce your husband, what will happen? The enemies may be knowing it. So that should not happen. Then what is the reason? In my opinion, no wife should disgrace her husband. This is the principle. And Satyabhama felt very much shy because she for asking this type of question. Then she come to the terms and she was telling, okay, I am very much sorry with you. I was very much sorry for asking this type of question. Tell me your equation with your husband. That at least you can tell. How you are actually, what type of behavior you do or what type of behavior they do, and how your family life is so safe and so secure, and how you are like that. Because most of the places, most of the times, husband and wife will be fighting. That fighting is not happening in your house. So what is the reason like that? Then she was telling, it is something personal, no? Something personal. Because of the intimacy with Draupadi, she was asking this type of questions. Then Draupadi started telling so many points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And here, Mahabharata textbook, it is there. All these shlokas, it is difficult to remember also. So, all these things, sometimes I will be saying this book, and sometimes an English translation only will do. Then she was telling one thing. Draupadi was telling that, see, Satya, I follow certain principles, certain rules, regulations on my own. It is not imposed by any person. What are those things normally I do is that I avoid certain things. What are those? What I am going to avoid? Bad talk, bad mouth, bad tongue, whatever you may call it. These type of things, bad behavior. Then transient looks. Transient looks means looking at some people in a different fashion. Transient looks. And I don't go to questionable places. Questionable places means you have to imagine what are the questionable places. Sometimes people will be going. Nowadays we will be seeing wives going or husbands going to some questionable places. Questionable places where it is more what is called more attractive things will be there, and you may be seduced there. Then those type of things. Questionable places I don't go, and try to go in the path that is actually conceived by husbands as safe paths. Those places only I will be going. Rest of the places I never go. Those type of things I never go. It means that I don't go to pubs. This type of things. Pubs I don't go. And all these things she was telling. And one more thing is that I do not allow my mind to vacillate at any point of time. Even if I say a man, maybe he is a god, maybe he is a Gandharva, maybe he is a very young person, maybe he is a very handsome person, or maybe a very rich person. These are the persons normally attract ladies. And here, it is not my opinion. Please understand the audience. It is actually what Draupadi is telling. These are the persons normally attract women. Women of this nature, women get attracted to rich person, get attracted to young persons, rich get attracted to Gandharvas, gods, and all these type of persons. This is behavior of most of the women, most not the majority of the women, or some women, we can say like that. It is a thing. My mind, I will not allow my mind, even manasa niyantrana. Manasa niyantrana is very much important. Indriya niyantrana is one thing and manasa niyantrana is one more thing. That is why only Bhagavad Gita, manasa niyamya, like that wording will be coming very often. Indriyas, how it should be controlled means they will be telling that it is manasa niyantrana. Manas, if you control your indriyas by means of manas, they will not get vacillated. There are two types of control over the subject matter. Suppose I am very much liking with the chocolates. If chocolates are there, I can't leave it. I will eat it. But if you, that is called indriya niyantrana is not there. Yama, Dama. Yama is not there. Dama, Shama, and all these things we talk. No? So here that is the Dama is not there. So if we control with the mind, what will happen? Even if everything is there around me, I don't get attracted to all those things. It is Shama, Indriya Nigraha. Antara Indriya Nigraha, Bahya Indriya Nigraha. These two things are there. With my mind, I control all these things. Any type of persons. Very good shlokas are there, of course. These things, all the shlokas, if you tell, more than 40-45 shlokas are there. That is why I don't want to tell all these things. Some only I will be telling. Then my mind will not be getting attracted to anything. Then I will not develop friendship with bad ladies. This is one more thing, very much important thing. Because the sangam is there, no, which is the person whom you are going to meet is going to decide your personality. That is why only sometimes people will be tell about your friend and I will tell about your nature like that. So here I don't allow myself to be in the midst of bad people, bad ladies. I don't develop friendship with all those ladies. And then one more important thing is that I don't stand in front of my gate at any point of time. Who will stand in the front of my gate? You imagine. People will be sitting there on the steps outside the house and attracting people like that. So this is the thing. Why if you do like that, what will happen? Your husbands will get irritated. That is also there. If they get irritated, what will happen? The irritation they can't tell you over face, but that the irritation can be exhibited in a different form. So maybe when they come home for a little other things, they will be fighting with you. This is the subject matter. Subject matter is something different, and the revolving issue will be something different. So like this, it will happen. These are all psychological tendencies of the man. So you need to understand the psychological tendencies of the man, and you are not supposed to mix with bad ladies, and you are not supposed to stand before the gates. This is also there. I don't sit in front of my gates. And then one more thing is that in the house, in conversations and all these things, I never laugh loud and avoid anger. And all the times I used to control my anger, because when anger comes, what will happen? When anger comes, your discriminative intellect get failed. That is there. Krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Smriti vibhramshat buddhinashaha. Buddhinashat pranasyati. Like that Bhagavad Gita tells. Krodha is actually one of the root cause for all the disturbances in the family life. For that matter, even husband or wife, whatever it may be. Unnecessarily some husbands, because this is, of course, this is a wife issue only we are discussing. Even husband also, sometimes, most of the times I observe in many families, husbands and wives both will be getting angry for unnecessary things in high fashion. Some people will talk very loud means in a great fashion, with great loud voice, they will be trying to control other person like that. Naturally, other person this anger will be cropping up. When anger crops up, what will happen? Both people will be fighting. If you control your anger, what will happen? If your mouth is actually controlling the voice, that is called the way it is going out. It should be reduced to lower levels, decibels, what we may call. If it is reduced to lower decibels, what will happen is that you may be getting anger, still you may be, your anger is under your control. If anger is not in your control, what will happen is that you are sammohaha, krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Whatever knowledge that you got all these years, maybe you must have studied scriptures, you must have attended to satsangas, you must have gone to different other places. There, different persons must be telling you that anger is a bad thing, anger is a bad, you should not get angry like that. But all the subject matter, whatever you have earned, all these years, that just disappears in one stroke because of the anger. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Sammoha means you become deluded. Once you get deluded, what will happen is that you forget all your knowledge. Krodhat sammohat smriti vibramaha. That smriti, everything smriti has gone. Smriti brahmshat buddhi nashaha, like that. The man, how he falls down from higher level to the lower level is described in this particular shloka. So here also same thing. And if I begin to do all these things, what will happen is that maybe in the house there may be some type of bad things will happen in the house. Because of this reason, I avoid all these things. I don't sit in front of the gate. I don't laugh loud. I avoid anger, and I will always be with the unblemished smile. This is a subject. Someone particular word is used. Unblemished smile and refrain what we can call clownish smile and unblemished smile. Unblemished smile means your smile is pure smile. Pure smile means which if you smile like that, people say that it is okay, great. Like that, if you do clownish smile means you are actually cajoling some person. At the same time, you are trying to smile, but at the same time, the smile is not coming from the heart. It is coming from the lips only. That lip smile is you can easily you can identify what is the lip smile and what is the smile coming from the heart, core of the heart. The core of the heart, the smile should come, not from the lips. It should not come. Like the air hostess will be there. If you go there, she will smile like that, and immediately she will be frowning. So that is they are taught like that, they practice like that, and you see the customer is smile, and immediately whatever you ask, they don't talk also, whatever it may be. But smiling is always there. And what is called emotions are also being controlled by the government. Emotions are also controlled by the companies, and this is what is the subject matter of the present day situation. Emotions are also being controlled. So this is how that is there. But here I don't do all those things. And then what will be telling is that then she was telling, how do you treat your husbands? How do you treat your husbands? Satyabhama will be asking, okay, all these things you have told. Then how do you treat your husbands? Tell me. Then she was telling, certain things. One thing she will be telling, Satya, I am telling one thing. I wait for my husbands to reach home, and I take food after serving them only, because they will be coming, because they go out in order to have different other works and all these things. When they come back, until they come back, I don't eat. I will be waiting for them. This is one of the aspects. Normally, what will happen is that you go out and they come back. You have already eaten. It is okay, but still, normally the intimacy cannot be developed. Suppose if you are eating before he comes, after see, if husband sees observes this for 3 or 4 days, what he do normally? Anyway, even if I go late, also she must have eaten. No problem. Let me complete my work and go. If you are waiting means and you are suffering. By virtue of me, she should not suffer. Because of this reason, he winds up his work and come back so early. Maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon, she will be coming back, and he will sit with his wife and both can eat. But if you eat and your one, he observes like that, he may come instead of 1 o'clock, 1:30 may come, or 2 o'clock he may come, or sometimes he may take food there only and give a message, WhatsApp message stating that I may not come. This should not happen. Now, so because of this reason, I wait for my husbands to reach home and eat food after serving them only. Then one more thing is that when they come and the sound of my husband, if that is there on the gate, what I do immediately get up, go there with a natural smile. I invite them. And in olden days, what they will be doing is that Arghya Padya they used to give. Nowadays, Arghya Padya habit is not there anyway. Arghyam is actually giving water for the sake of cleaning the hands, and the Padyam is there for the purpose of cleaning the feet. These two things normally they used to give. Very old films we come across these type of things. Potana, like this type of films. He comes inside and water is kept outside the house, and water he washes his feet and he comes inside like that. Nowadays we wear shoes and everything. We come inside. That is a different issue. But anyway, this is the culture. The culture is slowly getting diminished. So here I personally provide water for my husband. That is called Argyam and Padhyam and all this is invite him to the house. And one more thing what I do is that when he goes out, maybe 1 day, 2 days, whatever it may be, I don't even decorate flowers on my plate. That is there. But of course, nowadays nobody will wear flowers at any point of time. That is a different issue. But in those days, maybe some 30, 40 years back also, ladies used to put flowers on their heads and their hair, and they were coming like that. And she was telling, maybe Draupadi is much more 5,000 years old lady. She was telling that I never decorate myself flowers with my on my plate of hair. And whatever foods, whatever things they dislike, I also discard. This one good shloka is there. Yacha bharta napipati, yacha bharta na sevate, yacha nashnati me bharta sarvam tat varjayamyaham. So whatever that is not eaten by my husband, whatever drinks my husband don't take, they do not take, those type of things I also avoid. This is actually apparently it looks like that I am losing my liberty. It is not like the thing is that here it is actually you are tuning yourself to the wavelength of your husband, and once you do like that, what will happen is that he may also be giving you the lot of liberty to do like this, and I will also take like that. Maybe this give and take will be coming up in a few days. Maybe initially, if you do like that, maybe at the end you may be the winner like that. So here, this husband, I will be doing this type of activity. Whatever is disliked by husband, may I also discard. Then she was also asking, whatever you do, whatever you do, like that. Satyabhama was very much inquisitive, and she was asking. Then she was also asking, what is your relationship to your mother-in-law? This is also important question in the house. In order to have harmony in the house, the relationship between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, this is also very much important. So that is why she was very much inquisitive. Satyabhama was asking, what is your equation with your mother-in-law? Then she was telling, my mother-in-law, Kunti, is a pious lady. She is very good lady. And you believe it or not, this is the thing which has to be told. Normally people, if most of the places will be observing the daughter-in-laws come out, they will be talking without knowing or knowingly or unknowingly. Sometimes they will be talking ill about mother-in-laws in some way or other way. It should not happen. That is internal matter. Internal matter should not come outside. Even though if she is talking bad, even though she is a bad lady, what you are supposed to tell is that my mother-in-law is a good lady. Only you have to tell, because what is the use of telling that your mother-in-law is a bad lady to some other person? Not necessarily like that. But here, Draupadi's case, Draupadi sincerely believes that her mother-in-law is a pious lady. So she was telling, I take care of her health, I take care of her bath, I take care of her clothing, food, and other things personally. I never try to compete. This is very important. I never try to compete with her either in the wearing of dress or in behavior also. This is also more important, because even nowadays what is happening is nowadays, not every time, maybe this is there from the beginning of the society civilizational existence. Maybe as mother-in-laws, the young mother-in-laws will always be trying to compete with the daughter-in-laws in the way of they dress, in the way they decorate, in the way they put lipsticks and all these things. They decorate with the daughter-in-laws. Daughter-in-laws also will be doing all these activities, and sometimes both people will be outside people. It look like that both are actually competing with each other like that. So what will happen is that maybe internally the psychology of the woman, we don't know, like a psychology of the woman may be such that she, any other lady is lady only like that. She want to be in the upper hand. This may be the situation. I don't know, because to that extent psychological studies we have to do. Then only we can know all these things. But anyway, she was telling that I never try to dress better dress than whatever dress that she wears. I don't wear ornaments better than the ornaments of my mother-in-law. One more thing is that I always venerate her. I always do some what we can call. I do all types of activities which are favorable to her, and my husbands love me because I love their mother. This is more important. Normally, what will happen is that husbands' tendency is like that. If mother is loved, and they also love their wife like that. If you are fighting with your mother, then naturally this man is actually man's life is something what we can call it is very difficult to face in those early years of marriage. It is very difficult to manage wife and also the manage mother. Manage mother will not leave the son, even though she has 30 years or 40 years of age, son is there, but still she wanted to possess him only. The possessiveness will be there over him. He feeds him, he gives him medicine, he gives him all these things, which should not be done. Actually, once wife comes into the picture, she has to leave all those things. But she will not leave. No, she will not leave because she will not be knowing. That is the important thing. She will not be knowing that she. I see in many places the daughter is actually capable of giving medicine, capable of taking care of her husband, daughter-in-law. In spite of that, mother-in-law will be instructing the daughter-in-law not to give all these things. Sometimes in Mahabharata also we see that type of episode. Kunti, when marriage happens, she will be telling her daughter-in-law, telling that this man, these are five children, and Dharmaraja is like that, Bhima is like this. She will be knowing it in 2 3 days. She will be knowing all this is, and this Bhima will be eating more. So you divide the food into this many number of divisions. Give one big portion, half of the portion to Bhima, and then again half you cut it to 4 pieces, and those 4 pieces you give to 4 persons, other 4 persons. Whatever is remaining, you both as of us will share, like that she will tell. And scrupulously, Draupadi was following this continuously for lifelong. This was the situation. Then anyway, after seeing the food habits of all the persons, she will be knowing it in no time. But still, Kunti will be instructing her all these things. And these type of things are happening even nowadays also. Sometimes the son will be catching some cold or fever or whatever it may be. And she will not leave daughter-in-law to take care of him at any point of time. She wants to come into the picture and she wants to give because it is my son, like that. Those type of things normally mother-in-law has to avoid all these things, but mother-in-laws don't avoid all these things. What to do? This is the situation. Because of this reason, small ruptures will be happening in the houses. Here, Draupadi, what she is doing is that she is adjusting herself to the mother-in-law. Even the mother-in-law, you believe it or not, Kunti is a lady who was having a lot of vairagyam. Vairagyam means the what is disassociation with the subject matters. That is the reason why most of the time we find that the character of Kunti is like that. She will not get attached to things. She will actually leave all those things. Pandavas have lost warfare. Still, she was there with in the house of Hastinapura only. She was there. And then the Kauravas and Pandavas had that game of dice, and Kauravas defeated them, humiliated them, sent them out. In spite of that, where she was staying? She was staying in the house of Duryodhana. Duryodhana means that is Vidra house also. She was staying there, and much every day she was seeing Duryodhana, Dusyasana, and all these persons. Still, she was there only, and still she was also respected by these persons. And when all the persons went for Vanaprastha, at the end, at the time also with the Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, she also goes to the forest and she also gets scorched in the fire and she also dies like that. So like that, all the time she was there only. She will not be because Pandavas are there. If they are doing good or bad, it is according to their karma. Like that, she was having that much of disassociation. She was having all the veneration towards Krishna only and disassociation with all other persons. Even though she was there in the Hastinapura, like that she was there. So she was actually not interfering in the internal affairs of the wife and husband, but still Draupadi was adjusting herself to her, and she was taking care of her. This is one of the important aspects. Then household activities. Then Satyabhama was asking, what she was asking is that how do you take care of your household activities? And because you are doing all these things, great. Then in the house there are so many activities will be there. What are you doing? Then she was telling that, oh Satya, house care is my love. I love it. I keep my house neat, tidy, clean, and all these things. I prepare the food after the bath only. This is also very important thing. After the taking bath only, I prepare the food, because normally food is to actually it is to be dosha rahita ahara, what we can call dosha rahita ahara happens only when it is done with pure heart, pure mind, and pureness of the body also. So that is why only normally some traditional people avoid food in the hotels and other places, because of this reason only. Because the people, they must not have taken bath, they must not have taken whatever it may be, whatever activities they have done in the night or carried in the morning also, they prepare the food. Anna dosha will be happening. So this anna dosha should not happen. Because of this reason, I prepare food after bath. And also love to serve the food personally to my husbands. This is more important. Personally, I will be serving my husbands. Then one more thing is that in houses, what will happen normally, Vedic rituals will be happening. In those days, it was much more. Every day there used to be Agnihotra. Nowadays, Agnihotra is not at all there in any house. And according to one traditional people's estimate, maybe in the entire Andhra Pradesh, 6 or 7 houses only, every day Agnihotra is there. Like that, they have come to a conclusion. I don't know how far it is correct. What type of data they have done also, we don't know. But recently I come across one of the talks of one great scholar. He was telling that some 6, 7 houses only this Nityagni Hotram will be there. And one more thing is that the Agni is carried over generations also. And I don't think many persons will be knowing it also. No, no, they may not be knowing also, because we have forgotten. Because in earlier days, what was happening was that this Agni is there, no, Agni, Treta Agni. Treta Agni is being carried by the household person with him all the time. If he goes to from one place to other place, he used to carry this Agni. From this Agni only he used to do that fire ritual, and with this Agni only the kitchen is lighted on that particular day, and food is prepared from this Agni only. This Agni should continue for any number of years. As long as he lives, the Agni is taken out. That is there any house of such nature? No, no, I don't think. I have not seen any house. This Agni Hotram is to be carried. That is when this, Mahabharata, we come across a situation where Pandavas were carrying their Agnis. All the 5 persons are carrying their own Agnis. The Treta Agni they were carrying. But when they want to go for Agnatavasa means incognito, they have to be spend 1 year of their life in the port of Virata Raja. And now they have to carry this Agni. If they carry this Agni, people will be asking, oh, you are carrying Agni, and you, then who are you, like that? Then because Bhima has come as a Valala one, because cooking person he has come as a Shudra person, he has come there. And the Shudra person need not carry this Agni. And it is prescribed for certain Varnas only. So when you are taking, then people may question, then all these things will happen. Difficulties may crop up. Because of this reason, where to keep these Agnis? At that time, Sri Krishna suggests, when the difficult situation comes, what you are supposed to do is that these Agnis are to be preserved with the Purohit. Purohit will be keeping all these five persons' fires within in his house. And when you come back from Agnatavasa, he will be handing over those fires to you. And then you can carry with your own, like that. So, okay, they told, they agreed for it. And then they put all their Agnis with the Dhaumya. They surrendered all their Agnis to Dhaumya, and then they changed their Vesham, and they came to that spot, what we can call Virata Raja Asthana. And they spent 1 year of their exile, and then they came back and then took the fire from those persons. And nowadays, when we go out to some other place, we will be carrying the kit bag, we will be carrying with the paste, brush, a towel, and all these things will be carrying. Like that, they used to take their Agnis in those days. That Agni Karya used to happen in every household. Everybody used to do the Agni Karya. But nowadays, the Agni Karya is also not there. Sandhya Vandan itself is not there. That is a different issue. But here, she was telling that whenever these Agni Karyas, Vedic rituals happen, and some Vedic rituals, particularly Nitya Karmas and Naimittika Karmas, will be happening. Naimitya Nitya karmas are something different, and Naimitya karmas are something different. When the Nitya karmas or Naimitya karmas happen in the house, I consciously follow those rites, and I respect all those rights, because if those are respected, my husbands will be very happy. And I serve all the guests and dignitaries and take the food at the end only. Everybody is to be served first. It is a duty of the head of the family, for that matter. And in the matter of house, because the head of the family may be talking to those persons at the time, who is to take care of that activity? That activity has to be taken care of the wife only. Sometimes food may be less for her, maybe that she has to adjust on that day, because you can't say food is not there today and I have kept my portion here and nothing is there here, and she can't tell like that. First serve the food to the guests. Once everything is served, and whatever is remaining, if it is remaining more, fine, and you have to prepare like that. If you are preparing so less, what you have to do is that you have to sometime adjust yourselves, that is there. Sometimes husband may not be knowing how much food is there inside, so you have to take care of it. I'll take care of those activities. And then one more thing is that my husbands, when they were actually ruling the country, Dharmaraja was having 1 lakh servants. That is how it is described. 1 lakh servants. And what is it called? Shatam dasi sahasrani kaunteyasya mahatmanaha. Kambukeya dharinyah nishkantyaha swalankrutaha. And all these persons are, the Yudhishthira was having Laksha Dasi Janas. That Laksha means 1 lakh. And all those persons were wearing what is called Shankamalas, their Kantabharanas, and all these things they were wearing. Those were, everybody was a rich person in those days. Those persons were coming like that. And all these persons, you believe it or not, all these 1 lakh persons were very attractive people. And when very attractive people are there in the house, you need to have some control over them also, because the beautiful husband wife's what is called activity is that in the very beautiful dasi people are there inside the house, and 5 husbands are there in the house, and somebody may seduce, that is also there. So what you have to do is that you need to allocate the functions of the household works and other works in such a fashion that most beautiful ladies are not to be avoided in the house, and they should be outside, because nothing should happen. Because in Yayati story we come across the same situation. No, Yayati, the Sharmishta, Yayati, Devayani story. Same thing happens in Mahabharata only. Devayani was actually a little bit casual in for some days. What will happen is that her Dasi, Sharmishta, got attracted by Yayati, and Yayati, both persons got attracted, and he married her also, had 4 sons also. And when 4 sons are also there, one day the sons were coming there and they were playing with her sons, Devayani's sons. And at that time they know that, and she was asking, who are your father? Then they were telling, and then she came to know that Sarmishta is also a husband of Ati, like that. There is a good joke is there. My sons and your sons are quarreling with our sons, like that. There is a beautiful thing somebody was telling, and of course that is not relevant for our subject matter. Anyway, here the Sharmishta's sons and Ayati's sons were quarreling with each other, like that. At the time she could identify that they were the Dasi was actually married to her husband. So here Draupadi was telling that I know the names of all the servants. How many number of servants are there in the house? All the names also I know. That is more important. And all their individual activities also I was monitoring. This was the thing. This is more important, because in order to have control over, not control necessarily, in order to have the love of the husband, what you are supposed to do is that you should have the control over all these dindasis, what the activities they are doing, and all these things. I personally know all those things. And when Yudhishthira was ruling the country, my husbands used to go out and get a lot. They were conquering many kingdoms. They were coming to different other places, and they were coming back with a lot of riches. And whatever richness, whatever rich amount they were bringing in, they were putting entire thing in the koshagara and they were going away, because they don't have the time to see how much has come and all, and their accounts and all these things. Then what I am doing is that I was knowing how much treasure each husband has brought on that particular day, and I was counting all those things. I was the only person who was knowing the accounts details, how much each husband spends on his personal work, how much he is earning and how much he is spending, each husband, and at the same time, how much is there inside the treasury. All these activities, I was the only person knowing at that particular point of time. She was telling like that. Many times, this actually this we observe in Rajasuya also. Rajasuya also we come across a situation wherein there is a discussion, and people will be telling that the Dharmaraja was giving out charity, that is called many Annadana was happening continuously for so many number of days. It was happening. When it was happening, each if 1 lakh people come there and eat food, once 1 lakh is completed, Krishna has installed a bell. The bell rings. Suppose 1 lakh people have eaten food on that day, because it is not restricted in the dining hall alone. Please, Rajasuya Yaga, when it took place, it had taken place in number of acres of land. Where it had happened, if you go to Delhi, normally we go by what is called a tour itinerary. We will be going, some person will be showing us some activities and come back. It is not like that. You need to approach some traditional person, and what to see and what not to see. You need to see what is called a Rajasuya place. I have seen that Rajasuya place. Go there, personally inquire. This is a place where Rajasuya has taken place like that. It is actually now it is actually restricted to a small Kalabhairava temple. It is there in Delhi. Of course, it is a deviation from the subject matter. Anyway, this is also to be known. There, Rajasuya Yaga, where it took place, is that near Purana Kila area. From Purana Kila, roughly some 1 2 kilometers distance, a small Kalabhairava temple is there. That Kalabhairava temple, if you go and ask the priest, he will tell the history of that particular spot. Bhimasena has constructed that Kalabhairava temple, and he used to go there every day, pray and come back. And when Rajasuya was taking place, all the Pandavas were going there, prayed to Kalabhairava temple, and they were coming back and performing this Rajasuya ritual. It went on for a number of days. And there are so many temples in and around, maybe some 34 temples they have mentioned, and 34 temples, and also a lot of area also in that area. And the entire area was made use for the purpose of giving food to the guests. Each and every house is a dining hall only. The entire administration, whatever they were administering, each and every house they converted into the dining area only, because nobody was cooking. Everybody, nobody in the household was cooking. Everything is being served, prepared for the sake of the royal court only. Whoever guest comes, whichever house you enter, in the house he can have food. Guests will be coming, pouring from different places. Lakhs and lakhs of people have come there. So what happened is that when one bell rings, means 1 lakh persons have eaten in that particular area, entire area. Here the bell was ringing continuously for number of days. It was never, it was kept quiet. Continuously it was ringing, which means that so many persons were eating food and going out. So many persons were coming and eating food, they were going out. That was a greatness of Dharmaraja. So here, when those persons were coming, even that time also, Draupadi, the discussion in Mahabharata is there, wherein she was having total control over how many persons are coming, how many persons are there going out, how many VIPs are there in which place, what type of food is being arranged in that area, what type of food is arranged in this area, all these activities. And who knows? Dharmaraja doesn't know. Bhima doesn't know, Arjuna doesn't know, all these persons were busy with their activities. Only one person who was knowing all these activities was Draupadi. Draupadi was knowing what is happening at each and every corner of that particular spot. And one more thing I forgot to tell. This 34 temples I told, no, in Purana Kila, if you enter into the Purana Kila, it is written down there in the big Sila Shasanam. Not necessarily Sila Shasanam, over a big stone. It is written down, even now also it is there. 34 temples were actually destroyed, and in that particular spot this Purana Kila has been built. Purana Kila is now which is standing there. The Purana Kila is built in that particular spot. Only that we are having that iron pillar inscription. iron pillar is there. No, 4th century AD iron pillar is also there in that particular spot. It was originally it was not there. It was brought by some king, and subsequently the invaders actually took it and they have kept it there, which is not getting rust even after so many number of years. 4th century AD, that iron pillar is still there without getting any rust, even though it is exposed to sun, water, rain, and all this is still nothing happened to that iron pillar. Modern scientists also could not know what is the reason, what is the chemistry behind it, and how what are the chemicals they used for putting that pillar in that preparing that pillar. Nobody knows even now also. Lot of research took place, nothing happened so far. So this is iron pillar is there. That iron pillar is also we can see in Purana Kila area. This type of things, old type of things also we need to see. Interesting things will happen sometimes, which we don't know. What is the birthplace of Ravana? You don't know. Normally we think that it is the birthplace of Ravana is Ayodhya. It is what is called in Sri Lanka. It is not Sri Lanka. He was born near Gurgaon. That one place is there. And all these things you need to explore if you go there. From the traditional bent of mind, if you go there, you can see all these things with inquisitiveness. And if you see Delhi and come back, there is a different issue. But seeing Delhi from the different angle, different perspective is more important. So anyway, that leave it aside. Coming to the subject matter, she was telling that this what is happening in each in the Koshagara. I was the person who was knowing all these things. This is the thing. Many times I was not. In the, one more thing is that then how do you manage all these things? This is more important. No, this, Draupadi was also telling that I used to count the number of horses. I used to count the number of elephants and the different strategic places which are kept. The strategic places will be there in each and every kingdom. The strategic places, how many? Each strategic place, how many horses are there? How many elephants are there? These things also I was knowing. Many times I was not getting sleep. That also she tells. Yet I never abandoned my daily course. I was actually doing all my activities with a lot of interest only. I was doing all these things. And then how do you manage your lifestyle? That is more important. Lifestyle is how do you manage your lifestyle? She was telling. I was the person who was waking up early, and I was the person going to bed late, early to rise and late to go for sleep. That is the thing here. Early to bed and early to rise is normally what we tell, but early to rise and very last she was sleeping like that. Then I am the first to rise up in the sleep, and also I am the last to go for bed for sleep. This is my everyday activity. This is the mantra with which I used to entice my husbands. This is the thing. Because when they get up, I was ready with coffee. Not coffee necessarily, maybe like that. I was ready to do any type of activity for them. This is the thing she was telling. And then all these things, what happened is that the questions, the answers that were given by Draupadi, many other things are there here. There's 1 lakh horses, 1 lakh elephants, and then how many Brahmins were coming and eating in those days. And Yudhishthira was giving prasadam to at least 8,000 Brahmins in golden plates. He was giving like that, it is mentioned. And then there were Snataka Guhastas used to be there at that time. Then for that, around 30,000 Dasis used to be there. And there are some, what is called some very Pandits used to be there. And all these persons used to be coming to the houses and they were going out, and I was taking care of all these persons. And this is there, and many other things there she has told. And Antahpuranam Sarvesham भृत्यानां चैव सर्वशः आगोपाला निपालेभ्यः सर्वं वेदकृताकृतम्. And the Antahpuras, and also in the sitting in the Antahpuram, what I am going to do is that how many Gopalakas are there, persons who are taking care of the cows and all these things, how many are there, where they are there, and what type of activities they are doing. I used to monitor sitting from in the Antahpura. I was doing all these activities. and their adaya vyayam, and all these things. I was the only person who was knowing. I was the person who was taking care of the responsibility of the entire family. What is to be brought and what is to be sent out from the house, all these things I was knowing. Still, when I was doing all these activities, the Koshagara was full to the brim. It was always full. Like that, I used to maintain that one also. I used to maintain. So I was getting up early, going late. This is a thing she was telling. Then she was also telling, and then this is the thing she told. Then Draupadi, Satyabhama actually, she was actually, she whatever has spoken by Draupadi, it made indelible impression on her mind. She was pleased, very much pleased, and also felt shy also at that particular moment for asking such a nasty question. She was shy. And a Pativrata like Draupadi, I should not have asked all these things. I should not have asked this type of what type of anjanam you are using, what type of mantra you are using, what type of ratam you are using. This type of questions I should not have asked. But she begged pardon with her, and tell that let us be a friendly talk. Only don't mistake me like that. And Draupadi also embraced her, and then she was also very happy. And then she was telling some more secrets. She was telling that I will be giving you some more tips for keeping your husband in good mood. You serve your husband with all your heart, with love, with grace, sweet talks, and a pleasant character. You present the choicest flowers, you present the choicest fragrances to your husband all the time. And what will happen is that he will be feeling very happy with all these things. You give all these things with all happiness only you should give. This is one thing, one of the things which you need to give to your husband. And one more thing is that, and you believe in one particular dictum is there. That is called, the dictum is, she has spoken one thing. Sukham sukhana iha na jatulabhyam dukkena sadvi labhate sukhani. And what do you mean by that? And you get happiness by you don't get happiness by means of happiness. You get happiness by means of difficulty only. From dukkha only the sukha will be coming. You cannot gain sukham by means of sukham. You get sukham by means of dukkham only. This is the greatest principle which you need to understand. You need to suffer a lot. When you suffer a lot, what will happen? You will be getting what is called reward for that. You will be getting sukham from your husbands. Then then she was also giving a piece of advice. You understand the mind of Krishna all the time. You need to watch how his mind is performing. Suppose if he is not liking certain number type of persons, you also should avoid them. You cannot entertain them. Suppose some friends will be coming to the house. If the friends are coming like that, what you are supposed to do is that you are the Krishna is not liking those persons. You also should not like them, because you cannot ask come here inside and indulge in talk. If you begin to talk like that, your husband may feel bad. Then that is one more thing. And one more aspect is that some persons will be liked by your husband. Some persons are liked by your husband. What you should do is that you also should like those persons. You should serve them food. You should give them all delicacy and delicate whatever items are there. Coffee nowadays, coffee drinks, whatever it may be like that. And those days, whatever they were there, those things you need to serve all those persons. You take them very happily. This is one more thing. And then sometimes your husband will be telling something, some item. What is, maybe it is a secret, non-secret, whatever it may be. He will be telling something. So what you have to do is that all of his words are secrets only, like that you need to feel. And if you begin to tell these type of things, because he has told me like this, and if you tell it to some other person, what will happen is that the some other person will weave some other story over it and spread it to some other person. Ultimately, if it is going to come to the ears of your husband, then he feels bad. The secret, whatever that secret he is telling, keep his talk secret, even if it is not a secret. That is more important. Sometimes husbands will be telling something, What you need to do is that whatever he has told, you need not disclose to any other person. You need to keep it with you only. What is the use of telling that particular words to some other persons? Some other persons will weave a story over it, and again they will be spreading it in a different fashion. And these are the things also you need to follow. If you tell his words to someone, the same may be reaching to your queens also, because in those days many queens used to be there. All the queens may be reaching to so many queens, and ultimately misunderstandings may crop up. All these things you need to avoid. And she gives some more tips. When it so happens that sometimes you will be staying in a place where other men are around. Maybe some men are also around. Maybe you go to a religious function or some place or something, some other place. Maybe some men may be around you. Then not that it is normally will happen. No, when you go to a function, what will happen? You can't be with your husband alone. Maybe it so happens that many other men also will be mingling with all the persons like that. It is actually everybody will be there at that time. What you are supposed to do is that keep silence as far as possible. Is more important. Now, sometimes we will be saying, wives will be going there hugging some other person as if it's his friend or his brother or whatever it may be. Those things better avoid only. This is what Satyabhama, the Draupadi is advising her, Satyabhama. Whenever something is going to happen, you be like that only. Be silent. Let me see the time, 7:41. Okay. Um, and one more aspect is that sometimes people like Pradyumna is there. People like Samba is there. Who are Pradyumna and Samba? They are the sons of Krishna with the different other wives. And I think Pradyumna is the son of Rukmini, I believe. And Samba is, I think, is son of Jambavati. And this type of persons will be there. You may be talking to those persons, but still what you are to do is supposed to do is that you are not supposed to talk even with your sons in a secluded spot. Sons means they are not real sons, no, they are the sons of other wives. With those persons also, you are not supposed to spend your time in a secluded spot. And a secret spot, you should not go there, talk to something with them, and people will suspect. That is also there. Even though they are sons, even then also you should be very careful. And the secluded places you should avoid. These are the things. Dear Satya, avoid some items you need to discard. It's called anger, mischievous nature, always sleepy nature, and meeting with what is called ladies who go to different places. Peripatetic ladies we call. Peripatetic ladies means ladies who are wandering to different places, maybe from one house to other house to other house, like that. These type of persons you need to avoid. Mischievous people you have to avoid. You need to discard anger. You need to discard what is called sleepy nature all the time. That is called tamoguna. That should be avoided. And you should not meet always with the gluttons. Gluttons means people who eat more. Who eat more means what will happen? Those type of persons are rajasika persons only. Those type of persons you have to avoid. You need to avoid ladies who are also some types, some way thieves only. Some types of ladies will be coming and stealing some small items. Those type of persons also you need to avoid. This type of message she has given. Satyabhama was very happy after hearing all these things. She has learnt a big lesson, and she thanked her profusely and left for her husband. This was the thing. And here there are some psychological insights are there in the story. It is not exactly it is a story as such, but it is actually some psychological insights we find in this story. What are the psychological insights? Small points. I have taken note of all those things. The secret of success is women are never so strong as after their defeat. This is one of the famous quotation. Women are never so strong as after their defeat. This is one of the important psychological insight, which means that apparently you are losing the battle, but you are winning the game. Apparently look like, because most of the women may say that it is whatever you have described all this time, it is actually a servitude. It is not a servitude. You are actually losing at some certain point of time, but you are the winner at the end because you are going to control the entire thing. That is one aspect. This is the dictum is that this is in English, a very good proverb. This is women are never so strong as after their defeat, like that. So if you are getting defeated at this stage, it is not a defeat. This ultimately running samsara is also waging a great war. You lose battles, but you win the game. That is more important. India and Pakistan are fighting. Maybe you lose it to one particular spot. Your people are defeated in this spot, and some other place also your people are defeated. But these small defeats are not the matter. Whether you are going to win the game or not, whether you are going to win the war, that is important. The game of chess also, small pawns will sometimes go away. It is not the pawns that is important. Whether your queen is going to be a winner, your king is going to be a winner, that is more important. The game of chess. Like that here also, samsara is a battle wherein you may sometimes apparently losing your liberty and all these things, but still what you are going to gain at the end is more important. This is one of the important message from this story. And the financial management is there. Financial management is her control. What else is required? And she was controlling the entire destinies of what is called Pandavas. This is one of the things because they don't have time to take care of all these things. So she is taking care of all these things. And when a woman is empowered, what will happen is that empowerment is actually you are having a great advantage over the financial system of your husband means you could control them. That is also there. Because whenever they wanted to spend something for their own bad things, bad habits, and all these things, you can always have the control. This is there. And one more issue is that Kunti's relationship. Normally, the psychological tendency of a man is that he likes his mother, and he is lucky to get a wife if she is treating her mother well. If she is always fighting with his mother and there are different differences of opinion with his mother-in-law, or mother-in-law will be having differences of opinion with daughter-in-law, it is a hell for husband only. So he is all husbands cannot manage these two persons because if the person gets anger and he will be shouting either with wife or with mother, that is not the way. He has to adjust the wife and also mother in such a fashion that sometimes he need to tell some small lies, and that is the issue. But most of the husbands don't know because they don't have the knowledge of Mahabharata. That is the biggest problem. The wives don't have the knowledge of Mahabharata. Husbands don't have the knowledge of Mahabharata. They don't read all these things, no, because thinking that this is waste issues. Because of this reason, they don't know all the psychological issues, insights are there in Mahabharata. This is actually a psychological grandam. And Moksha Grandam, Dharmika Grandam, and also a psychological Grandam. Psychology of the human nature is being depicted in Mahabharata. And one more thing she was telling, that Draupadi was telling, is that I serve the food, I prepare the food on my own. What does it mean? She is taking control of the kitchen. That is more important. No, this is indirectly she is telling that I take control of the kitchen. This is taking care of the kitchen is more important, please. Taking possession of the kitchen after marriage is one of the biggest strategies of gaining supremacy in the house. That is what I can tell. Because here, earlier what will happen, whatever mother-in-law is cooking, you need to eat. But now it is not like that. You are preparing the food on your own means you can have the food of your choice, and your choice will be liked by your husband in no matter of days. Husband is such a malleable person that after eating for 3 or 4 days, he gets adjusted to this. So initially, he may be telling that my mother food is very good, my mother food is good, like that. He may be telling that is many houses we see. But still, after eating this food for 1 week or 10 days or 1 month, what will happen is that he is in the habit of taking this food only. This is a food is only a matter of adjustment only, no. Ultimately, he gets adjusted to this situation. When you control the kitchen, what will happen is that you are controlling the entire house. The kitchen is the key place where you should have the control. This is more important. But most of the modern girls, what they fail to understand this simple logic and avoid taking possession of the kitchen as if it is a servitude. That should not happen. So that is why only she was telling Sukham Sukhena iha na jatu labhyam Dukkena sadhve labhate sukham. Dukkena sadhve labhate sukham. With dukkha only you get sukham, like that. Pleasures are to be attained by undergoing temporary pains. This is the idea that she is giving. Then you see gods, how did they get that nectar? After getting a lot of toil only, with a lot of toil, they get a lot of other difficulties. They only after difficulties only they got that nectar, amrutam, they got it. So here also same thing. When wives serves the food, what will happen? With pleasures and pains, there's a tendency of a man keeping his wife on the first row, because he will be keeping his wife on the uppermost part. So then one more thing is that she does not like to enslave her husbands. That is more important. With a dubious means, she was not doing like that. So here actually love, no love. One quotation I have written down here. Love is a flower. Love is like a flower that flourishes on the land of trust. That is there. No, love is a flower that flourishes on the land of it is called trust. Trust is more important. If at all your husband is going to know that you are going to do some type of activity by means of which you wanted to seduce him, he feels very bad, and immediately the frictions will start up in the house. So what is more important is this trust is more important. And sometimes when you talk to some unknown person, unknown man, the jealousy will crop up in the mind of the man. Man with man's psychology is that he's so possessive all the time. Then you have to understand that jealousy is the disguised form of extreme love. That is more important. Love is the disguised form of extreme love, people say. If extreme love is there, the jealousy is there. Love is not there, okay, she is the property of everybody, like that he thinks, and he will be keeping like that. Otherwise, what will happen? Jealousy is there means he is loving you more. This is the psychology of the man. Similarly, woman also, I believe. If a man or woman is overtaken by love, they will be doing actually what we call the jealousy they will be developing. So in that situation, it is not the what will happen is that many women suffers mental strain when they feel any iota of an unfaithfulness in the partner. Any unfaithfulness is there in the partner, they will be suffering a lot. At that time, it is not the eye that weeps, it is the heart that weeps, people tell. It is the heart that weeps. So it is what is happening is that these questionable conversations, meeting with questionable persons, be in the company of bad people, all these things, if you avoid, what will happen? Both wife and husband have to be frank. Whatever this is told here, it is, don't think that it is only for the wives. Similar same things will be applicable for men also. This is the thing. Now one more thing is that she was telling that I was the first to wake up and first to last to go to bed. That is her secret. And the secret is there applicable everywhere. We see in the companies also, when we work in the corporate sector also. I also was there in the corporate sector for a number of years. So here we find that the person, the worker who is coming very early will be liked by the management. Who goes late also will be liked by the management. Not necessarily what amount of work you do, and he can't distinguish, because sometimes what will happen, it is very difficult to what is called know how much of work you have performed, how much fast you have done. Nobody will see, because the human mind and the nature is such that it is a limited nature only will be there. Even top managers also sometimes very limited personalities. They see the physical work, or physically how what time he is coming, and physically what time he is going, more important. So this is still there, even though it is a most professional organizations, people talk like that, but it is not like that. People are actually thinking that this person is sitting late hours. I was having one manager, he used to tell, he is going by 5 o'clock. What great activity he is doing. I was saying, sorry, he is doing all his work and he is going away, not like. It is not. When he is doing all his work, it is his duty he is doing. If he is sitting late hours, he is doing extra work. That was a natural presumption of any person. Here also same thing, what she is telling is that going early to bed and going late. This is same thing only. Because people, the impression has been will be created in the house that she is the person who is taking care of all these activities. This should be there. This is ownership will be there, like that it will be coming. So it is a logical, psychological thing. It is there, but you don't think that it is only for ladies. We are having in the scriptures many other things are there, which is being told by husbands also. For example, one I will be telling. Kamandaka Niti Shastra, it is there, and how husband should behave. Then they will be telling Kamandaka Niti Shastra is one more book, very great book. And those type of books also, I think Veda Samskruti Samiti can introduce in the subject portfolios. Not necessarily only traditional items. These are also traditional only, to be frank. Okay, what they will be telling is that husband how he should behave. Karyeshu yogi, like that. Karyeshu yogi, Karaneshu dakshaha, Rupecha Krishnaha, Chamayatu Ramaha, Bhojyeshu Truptaha, Bhojyeshu Truptaha, Sukadukka Mitram, Shatkarma Yuktaha, Kaludharmanataha, like that they will be telling. Kaludharmanataha, like that. What does it mean? In the performance of jobs, he should possess dexterity, Karyeshu yogi, like should be. In the Karaneshu dakshaha, in executing the works and all, he should be capable person also. He should be showing capability also should be there. Rupecha Krishna, he should be like Krishna in what is a handsomeness and all these things. Chamayatu Ramaha, Rama's nature should be there. Patience, Rama, patience should be there. Bhojyeshu Truptaha, in the matters of eating and all these things, he should be contented. Sukha Dukha Mitram Shatkarma Yukta. Sukha Dukha Mitram. Sukha and Dukha, both equanimity he should take in the household activities and all these things. Shatkarma Yuktaha, Kaludharmanataha, like that. For him also, certain things are prescribed like that. Everywhere in the, our scriptures and all these things will not leave at one spot. Because Draupadi Satyabhama Samvada, it is actually revolving around one subject. That is called how a lady should behave. How a husband should behave, different other areas it is there. Those anyway, today that subject is not there, we are not discussing. So this episode, Veda Vyasa wanted to give certain insights about the family, how a family should function, and all these things. He has brought out this in a very rich fashion. He has brought out, and people may doubt. Modern day people may doubt that is there any lady who is going to trying to entice her husband by means of this dubious means, whether it is there or not. Yes, it is there, please. This Charaka Samhita, we come across one beautiful shloka in Charaka Samhita. 1 minute. Reference also I will tell you. Charaka Samhita, it is actually 23rd chapter. 23rd chapter. And this is Chikitsa Sthanam, like that it is there. This the beautiful shloka is mentioned. Saubhagyartham striyaha Sveda Rajo Nananga Janmalan Setru Prayuktamscha Garan Prayachan Tanyan Amistritan, like that. What is that meaning? Meaning I have written down here. What they were written there. With a view to gain the favor of their husbands, what women will be doing is that women will administer to them their sweat, the menstrual discharge, the saliva, and excreta in some places of some parts of the body, and also they prepare gara. Gara means visham. They prepare means not necessarily the poison that kills, the poison that seduces, and artificial poison prepared by enemies. That is also they use it. Mixing these with the food they used to serve to their husbands, like that. Charaka Samhita, it is very much mentioned. Saubhagyartham striya. It is actually, if you want to see this shloka, you can go to 23rd chapter of Chikitsa Sthanam of Charaka Samhita, it is there. So I have noted down because my wife is an Ayurvedic doctor. So I sat with her and studied whatever that is there. Anything is there in the Sanskrit test, and I got this point. So this type of ladies are also there. This type of ladies are also there because of this reason only. This is also mentioned. Okay. Anyway, this is today's discussion. Already 8 o'clock. I would like to close it. If anybody want to ask any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we can meet tomorrow again. It is already almost 8 o'clock. I should have closed it by, and I wanted to discuss some other aspects of this aspect only from Yaksha Prasnas also. There's no time anyway. Okay. Tomorrow I can discuss.
Yeah. ధన్యవాదములండి నాగరాజరావు గారు. Thank you so much. You brought out very important topic, sensitive topic. Let us see, first we'll have a prarthana and Jataganama, then we will ask for questions. Padmaja ji, please.
Yes, sir. स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महीसाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी ब्राह्मण देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्रा पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अदनाः सदनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम् सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु स्वस्ति
Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Swasti. Thank you, Padmaja Garu, for the nice prarthana. Today being the year end, we would like to have a new end to the year. And so I request KK Sharma ji to sing national anthem for us if you are available. KK Sharma ji, yeah,
Yes, please.
thank you. Please.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलग तरंग तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद।
Thank you, Sharma ji. Thank you very much for the nice end to the class. And we still have time for the questions. Few questions in case someone has. Definitely, people must be having some questions. Yeah. Yes, Radha Kumari ji. Yeah, you can ask. Radha Kumari ji, you can unmute and talk.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you just gave a reference of people who are 1 lakh people who are serving to this empire of Pandava. I'm sorry.
You want the shloka, madam?
No. I don't want to talk. I just want to know whether these people are, as you mentioned, that they are very attractive people wearing Rudraksh mal and
Correct,
so
correct,
are
correct.
they learned as well, and are they learned in Vedic Vidyas? Has
Yes, madam, that is normally in those days, in the king's places and all those places, what type of persons are to be there as dasis is also mentioned in, we come across that reference in Kautilya's Arthashastra. Normally, normal, lesser intellect people are to be avoided in the court or even in the Antapura also. They should be having a lot of knowledge also should be there because this Chatushashti Kalalu is there. No, that should be there for queens also. They should know, kings also should know, and the servants also should be having that knowledge. That is why we come across in most of the ladies, most of the dasis who are serving the queen, they will be having some special traits they used to have, special skills, special knowledge will be there for those persons. So these persons are intellectual persons also, intellectual persons who are adept in talking in a good fashion Dasi Janas. We come across this type of things in Raghuvamsham, we come across Meghaduta, we come across like that Kalidasa. Queen will be there, and then all is the Dasis also. And for that matter, Dushyanta, when he comes to that is called Shakuntala, when he sees Shakuntala's Dasis, not necessarily Dasis, the persons who are serving her, they spoke to him. They spoke to him in a chaste language. They spoke and they wanted to caution him and all these things we come across, madam, like that. They are intellectual people only. May not be all 1 lakh people. And one more thing is that there are many places there will be some sort of Arthavada will be there. Arthavada in the sense means in order to highlight that there were so many people were there in the court of Dharmaraja. People used to tell that it is 1 lakh people like that, lakhs of people like that. It may not be a lakh people, maybe a few thousands or maybe a few hundred people may be there, but still it is highlighted like that, like what we can call in those times the houses were touching Akasha, not necessarily Akasha like that, a big one like that, Arthavada they call it. Maybe this is Arthavada also may be there. Some Arthavada is also there in this component also may be there in it. But still, they were having a lot of knowledge. So, wise people only used to be there in the corridors of Antapuras.
Sir, may I contact you personally for these references which you gave from Kautilya's Arthashastra, Meghdootam and Raghuvansham, because I'm working on a paper which is based on education, liberalism in ancient education system. There, I want to actually counter this prevalent narrative that education was available only to certain varnas and majority of people were denied. So I want to counter this narrative, and I'm looking for such references.
Madam, if you go deep, means even in Vedic time onwards, maybe ladies' formal education was denied for after some years only. But initially, they were having a lot of education they used to have. Vedic ladies actually, the mantra drashtas. There are some people.
Nagaraja garu, she wants to contact you directly. So can she contact so that
would be fine, sir. That would be fine. Because it is actually because it is something personal paper and all these things.
Right,
You can contact me, madam. No problem.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Mallikarjun garu, you can ask a question now.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in some stories, I came to know that while in the conversation between Krishna and Karna, Krishna says to Karna that if you withdraw support to Duryodhana, entire kingdom will be given to you. And at the same time, Draupadi also will accept you as the sixth husband for her. And he told like that to the Karna. Is it really it is mentioned in the Mahabharata by Vyasa? I want to know it, sir. And at the same time, I want to know the character of Karna. Yesterday, you have explained that Karna has given the dana in the way of Rajoguna, not in Sattva. Karna, the character of Karna, please kindly explain, because if his character is that much good character, how he is in the Dushta Chatustaya of Duryodhana. If possible, the character of Karna may be explained in some words. I want to know it.
Tomorrow, sir, entire class Karna only.
Okay, sir. Okay.
That would be fine, no? Because Karna's character is wide, in different places it is spread across.
Is that much good or not? I want to know it.
No problem, sir. Even now also this can be answered. But still, we can have a better, that is called for the entire day, Karna only. Maybe that is also good. Maybe that we can do tomorrow. Oh, yes.
You can take up the question tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
You will get a clarity.
Fine, sir.
Garu, you can ask a question now.
Sir, good morning, sir. I would like to know in which parva of Mahabharata is this Samvada mentioned? Means Draupadi and Satyabhama.
It is
Yes.
Vanaparva. Vanaparva, it is
Vanaparva.
actually, I think Adhyaya also I will tell. This book with me only because I should have the book no before coming to the class. It is
Okay.
actually Vanaparva. It is a 234th Adhyaya, madam. 234th Adhyaya. It is there.
Okay, sir.
234th Adhyaya Vanaparva. Maybe some books it may be 235 or 236 or somewhere 233, whatever it may be. Around
Okay.
230 to 235 like that. If you see some place it is there because the different versions will be there. So anyway, Vanaparva it is there.
And another doubt also, sir. Actually, in nowadays, this generation which both husband and wife are working, is this all these are principles may not be followed by both of them.
Hmm.
And in that case, how can we guide our children?
Yeah, right. I don't think it can be followed, madam. I believe that even now also it can be followed. I believe. Thing is that only as I told you, because it is actually it is not one-way traffic. It is both person, husband and wife.
Yes, sir.
Both persons are in the wanted to read Mahabharata, and if both persons are following the what is called principles of Mahabharata, I think even now also it can be done. Husband also can wait for the wife to come for eating, and wife also can wait for him like that, and both of them can rise up in the morning, and both of them can go to bed together like that. And this type of things, whatever it may be, if they don't get anger with the other person, some principle they have to put stating that I don't want to shout at you, something of that nature. Never I raise my voice with you. I have seen one husband, madam, even now also is there. It is almost 40 years of their togetherness. And the first day itself, he promised her that this is my promise. Promise is that I never raise my voice against you, whatever it may be. This is my principle like that. She also told the same thing. And then the wife and husband are so good that at the difficult situation also they don't raise their voice. Still, I have seen that couple. They are there in Pune. They are there. My relatives only. A very good life they are leading. Thing is that only if you raise the voice only, normally what will happen? The anger will crop up. And they have principle. That principle they have followed. And there is one more couple I have seen. I only advised them. Thing is that they were always fighting. And one day, husband is happened to be my good friend. He was asking me what to do like that. And then I suggested you take a principle that after 8 o'clock in the night we don't fight, something of that nature. Even if the fight is there from morning to evening, stop at that particular spot. He discussed with his wife. She also agreed. Maybe what was happening is that from morning 10 o'clock to almost 6 o'clock, he was working in the office only. Go home, and going home, time will be taking place. 8 o'clock, if they don't fight, means they don't fight at all on the day. It is avoided. So, like that, some principles they have adopted. Some, according to the latest trends, because both are working. At the time, what they have to do is that they have to devise a new ways and new methods and all these things. And I think it can be worked out. The only thing is that the trust levels are coming down and people are actually fighting for unnecessary reasons. Husband will be feeling that he is great and wife feel that I am having that. But these type of things are there, madam. But if both persons are having some humble nature, it can be adjusted, I believe. But people and equation with mother-in-law also same thing.
Yes, sir.
It is all possible only, but thing is that it is in a different form maybe because
Yes, sir.
after 5,000 years of their conversation, no.
Yes, sir. Thank
But
you,
still
sir.
they are valid only, madam. Principles are many
Yes, sir.
principles are
Yes, sir.
valid at least. Yes, madam.
Basically, we have to make the children also to read certain principles taken from Mahabharata.
Correct, madam.
That will help them to have
Correct,
lead a
correct,
happy life.
correct, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Nagaraj Rao, for the nice session, and maybe people will start thinking and they'll come ready tomorrow with more to learn from you. Thank you very much. I close the class with your permission.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Happy year end, and we'll meet in the new year, 2026.
Okay, sir. Bye, sir. Tomorrow. Yes,
Happy,
sir.
yeah.
We'll meet, sir.
Happy. Okay, then. Bye. See you.